Okay, let's continue our painting here a little bit. You can see like I said, it always looks a little bit different when it dries. It's kind of like looks like it's rapidly in here, and like the little inlets, it's still blue, like kind of like still water. That kind of happens. And you know, originally I wanted these to be mountains like in the distance, and I always make the mistake of making them too big. So maybe like just look at them as maybe like rock formation. I remember I went on vacation many times when I was younger, and we would especially go out to this place in Michigan, Crystal Falls, annual fishing trip, and on the Paint River, and those areas that had kind of rock formations that look like this up there. So why don't we kind of go with that? So why don't we have a little fun here and maybe make a wall of rocks on this side, so it'll be kind of surrounded by walls. So with that, we'll take our runny silver, or is this silver maybe not quite as runny? Well, that also sounds kind of runny. I don't know. Maybe the silver's a runny color. Yeah, I guess it's just naturally runny. I don't know. And take a little black. A little black in there. I don't know what this kind of brush it's called. It's kind of pointy, kind of a detail. Well, let's see about. Let's get mostly gray with a little black, and let's see about putting some. It's just some nice little. You know, it's rock, so it doesn't have to be, perfectly shaped or anything. Let's kind of make them look at the overlap a little bit. You know, it's kind of nice and like that. You know, the whole thing, that doesn't have to, you know, there could be like little gaps here and there. You know, it's and just kind of move your brush around, just like kind of like random little movements, just trying to make it look, you know, kind of like a rock. And rocks come in all different sizes and shapes and colors, so you don't want to make them all look the same, you know. Let's make another one here. Maybe this one comes out a little bit further. Yeah, hey, this is looking good, isn't it? And if you do this at home, I hope some of you Girl Scouts are kind of painting along. I know Keelan isn't, party pooper, but you know, if
I don't like painting.
I mean, but if you'd rather, you know, if you don't want to put rocks here, if maybe in your world, maybe that there's a line of grass here, of little shrubs, or you just want to just put maybe just tan down there and make it look a little bit like make it look like like a beach, you know, that's perfectly fine, you know. That's kind of good. Why don't we make a little bigger rock this time? Go a little bit higher, you know. Just because, you know, the rocks are gonna be all different sizes, shapes, and colors. Okay, a little bit of a bigger rock there. Yeah, we've all been missing you being off all this time. Let's make like a little gap, and then when we continue it between these rocks, we'll put I don't know if I'm gonna put sand, or let's put a little, just little dabs of silver right in here. Maybe get some sand, you know, make a. Let's go over this one. It's kind of. And I know I said you want darker stuff in the background and lighter stuff in the foreground, but that's kind of a more of a guide. It's, you know, that's not not every paint in the world is going to have dark in the back. You know, only dark in the background, only lighter, you know, values in the foreground. It's all different, but you know.
Just trying to sound like Bob Ross.
I'm just trying to give a little instruction here.
Yeah, but you're usually like louder.
Well, I kind of get why he talks like that now, because you kind of concentrate and you're trying to talk what you're doing, but you also kind of want to concentrate on what you're doing. Let's go over this one a little bit. Let's go like a little bit lower. You know, they're not going to be perfectly lined up. You know, it's this one could use a little black, just a little indications of whatever, you know. let's make a little bigger gap this time. Just looking all right. And right now, let's get a little brave and put a rock in the water. Let's put a rock in the water. Okay. And like Bob Ross would tell you, you know, you need a friend. You know, you need a little friend to put another rock, somebody you can talk to. See, the little rock you could talk to while the water's splishing by.
Yep, he's Bob Ross now.
Yeah, being Bob Ross with the happy little rocks and happy little trees. You don't make mistakes. You have happy accidents. It's your world. Do what the I
prefer you talking louder.
I watch Bob Ross quite a bit even as an adult. He's on Netflix, and if you wanna, see, you know, I mean, he would have had this painting done by now. He'll do something like he has like a canvas about 4 times the size of this, and he'll shoot something out. And I've been criticized before. I'm a part of like an art and they said, you know, I should like take pictures of nature and try to copy that. And I've done that a couple times with the portraits. I used models. The GFCC church, I attempted to paint off a picture. I've done that before. That's why I think, you know, Bob Ross, they said when he did his show, you know, he would have like, you know, a 30-show season. He would like film them all like in a matter of a couple of days. So I almost imagine, because he mentioned before, he had like, you know, people would send him pictures of stuff to paint. I almost imagine like off camera, they had a big photograph, you know, a blow-up photograph of the project he was planning on painting. So he was kind of copying that. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of artists prefer, you know that way. They're like, you know. And me, I kind of like to wing it. I just kind of, you know, what was that?
No, we paused on accident.
Oh, it's just okay. That's fine. It's paused on accident.
But it's still going.
You didn't miss much there for paused. I don't think you missed anything actually. We're still making our little rock formations.
Oh my.
You know when I started painting a few years ago, I tried to emulate Bob Ross and get a picture done in a matter of a half an hour, and I found out, you know, maybe if you take your time, they come out better. I still have some paintings around. I have some of my first few, and it's kind of weird because you can see they were nowhere near as good.
Can I show one? The one with the big trees.
Yeah. Yeah, that one right there. That was one of my better first ones.
Kind of in the way.
That's probably my first actual decent one. I got a little brave there with the signs and the signage and stuff, but I found that if you actually take your time a little bit, you know, the paints come out better. But as I say, it's kind of funny because I can still find old paintings, or they might come up on my Facebook memories and stuff, and while they're nowhere near as good as what I'm able to do now, but you can still see like the same elements were involved with the weird, you know, the weird way I do the skies and with the color blending and stuff like that, and just the, you know, so a lot of the technique I used was the same. I just kind of got a little more patient, and you know, like to tell you, Girl Scouts, you know, and of course, anytime you try something new, it's going to be difficult, and something called embrace your failures, where you want to learn from your mistakes. You know, don't get upset if you make mistakes. Of course, if you're painting along with me right now, it's not going to look exactly like this is right now. You know that, you know, I've been doing this a few years. It takes a little practice, but I'm pretty sure if you saw some of my, let's put another couple in there.
Oh my goodness.
You know, if you saw some of my earlier stuff, you know, you'd be like, whoa, okay. Matter of fact, I attempted to make something for the circus. That is garbage. I could tell. I tried. I got out of my comfort zone. They got a show coming up at the studio with circus theme in my mind. You know, like a lollipop twisted lollipop lane with the clown car driving to the side of a mountain. In my head, that looked brilliant, but I just wasn't able to to pull that off.
To me, it would have been nicer if he changed the colors of the lollipops and fixed the clown a little bit.
That could be, but I also, went out of my comfort zone a little bit, which is a good thing. You don't always have to do the same thing. I'm getting a little brave with this one right now. I've never taken 4 or 5 days to make a painting before, so I'm just trying to. So why don't we wash up this brush, get our towel, and today for this one we're only gonna concentrate on the rocks. Because Keelan gets upset if I go more than 15 minutes. How far did I go so far?
10.
10. Okay, so according to Keelan, I got about 5 minutes to go. So I'm just gonna take a little green, maybe a little of this green, and maybe a little of the. Like I say, number one thing is do not be afraid to have the paint touch each other. That's So I'm gonna take just a little normal little paintbrush here, and I'm just gonna put the little amount. You can see there's a little bit of dark, a little bit of light green. And just put a little bit of moss here and there. That's a little bit too much, but just a little bit of moss in some of these rocks. That this I already wiped off my. Some rocks will have more moss than others. That's okay. And some rocks won't have any moss. So why don't we just put a little bit. There's just a little color, a little bit. Let's just only put just a touch on this one. Rolling stone gale, there's no moss. So I have like a little more, whatever. You see, so you don't have to dip your brush too much. Matter of fact, doing this technique, it's seeming the less it's on the brush, the better it's working. Just a little here's and there's. Jeez. I know I'm really getting all Bob Ross on you.
I just don't like whispering. Like it's annoying to me.
Well, like I said, I'm trying.
If it's in I could watch ASMR videos if those are like to help you fall asleep, but they're like whispering in your ear. I just don't like whispering out loud. Well, when they whisper in your ear, it feels nice.
When you're trying to concentrate, it's almost a natural. It's like you make fun of me when I sing. Suddenly, how do I start? I start to pronounce words. Words with A's kind of funny. How do I do that? I like to say when this dries and this green and this silver and when it all blends.
You have 2 minutes.
I have as much time as I want.
No.
Because we're in quarantine.
Wait, do all the rocks have moss?
Yeah. I'm gonna put a little moss. I have a friend over here.
Oh.
He's a good guy. He doesn't get moss. He's gonna feel a little lonely. Should I put moss? Just a little. There we go. And so now we got some rocks. It's do the border like I said. And there's like little gaps here and there, and that's okay. So when we pick this up, let me just do a couple little corrections here. Because we don't make mistakes, we have happy accidents. But, don't even bother cleaning the brush. Okay, a little bit. Let's just put just a little darkness on this guy.
What the heck?
Just a little. Let's put a little. That's okay. And down here, let's just kind of put a little more black on. A couple of this. We're just trying to make. So okay, why don't we call this
We do nothing
for today. And like I said, I really hope you paint along at home. And because it takes like 10 hours to upload this to YouTube for whatever reason. Yeah, make sure you clean your
I thought it was on Facebook.
No, I haven't put it on YouTube because Facebook has just been crashing. It just if, if Facebook, if it doesn't load quick enough, it'll stop and ask you, are you sure you want to upload this? And then YouTube, it doesn't do it. It just might take 10 hours, which doesn't make sense because when I put the music ones on there, a 3-4 minute video takes even sometimes just a minute or two to put on there. But I wonder, maybe Brandon would know that.
I think I did a video before, and it takes a while.
Well, I just wonder for Raw Quarantine if more videos are being uploaded to YouTube, like right now for Raw Quarantine, maybe YouTube's has a lot more people trying to upload at the same time.
Maybe it just depends. It probably just depends on the video.
Well, I know. I think now Brandon, if I'm wrong about this, you could say but computers could only do one thing at a time. I mean, I might be able to do 10 million different things in a matter of a second or two, but it could only read one byte of information at a time. So if it takes turns, so if 1,000 of us is trying to upload videos, it might rotate us around 1,000 times. So we go up there pretty quickly. But if 10 million of us are trying to upload it, then that circle's bigger, and we have to it'll take one bit of information of mine and go around it. I mean, am I saying that right? Don't Girl Scouts, don't take that for absolute, but I believe the theory, or maybe it depends per server, however many servers or whatever YouTube has. I really don't know, but maybe I mean, if Brandon, if you're watching, if you're listening, if you am I kind of on the right track there? But anyway, I hear Keelan squawking about this in the background there. So yeah, this painting starting to look pretty nice. We got this is when we got to start making decisions about: are we gonna want this sandy, or are we gonna want this grassy? A lot of these rocks, if you don't like where the how the moss turn out, you just paint over with the tree. Like I say, you're gonna paint over. These sections right here probably been painted. Probably has 8, 10, 12 different paints on. But anyway, so I am rambling about nothing to do with anything right now. So hopefully we'll see you pretty soon. But in the meantime, keep painting. Later.